it's kind of made it totally egalitarian. If there was anything that has like leveled the playing field, it is the presence of the internet, because now work that was never, you could never even hear of, lands in your inbox, and you've got someone from Israel asking you to do a VO for a web development thing that they're doing. Or someone you used to go to high school with will find you on the alumni page, see that you're a VO, and say, oh, I need somebody to narrate something for my corporate presentation, and that kind of stuff. So things, connections that were absolutely impossible or close to it, even 5 years ago, are, and especially 10 years ago, are more easily made, and we're able to comply. The 10 years, 5 years thing. 10 years ago, not everybody had a home studio. Things were still pretty expensive then, but now most of the VO people that I'm aware of are dealing with home studios. And if you have a home studio, the world is your oyster. You're available everywhere thanks to FTP or even compression with MP3. You can send sound files anywhere. Well, my view is maybe different than other voice actors, because I'm a gamer and I'm a complete freak for games. So I actually play the games, and that's one of the things that is very valuable from an audio director standpoint, is because I get it. The thing that happens with video gaming now is there's so much more interactivity between the game and the player, and a lot of that has to do with the use of what are called non-player characters who speak to you and ask you what is it you'd like to do, and then in some games you're presented with a group of choices and you choose one and they respond accordingly. It's a more immersive experience, and what's happening is it kind of makes it like they're working to put you in a movie. It's like it's a fully interactive and fully immersive, embracing experience, and it really does grab you. You spend hours and hours with these people, and it's almost like, well, I mean, you've heard of people having video game addictions and stuff. I'm thinking of even just console gaming. These become like a second family to you. You know them. You know their predilections. You know their emotions. And because they've been speaking to you, it's really a lot hotter. Everybody is incorporating games, even in Nintendo DS games. There's little bits of, I'm playing, can I name a game? I'm playing Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. And there's not a ton of VO in it, but when it shows up, it's really gratifying. Lonnie Manella is the voice of Luke, the little boy in it, and when you get a puzzle right, and she goes, "Professor, I did it!" It's like, yeah, it's just great. So it grabs you a lot more. It's a lot more personal. I think it's going to be a lot more cinematic. We're actually moving more. We see more fully developed dialogue and a lot more care in the incorporation of audio sooner. This is a huge deal. Audio used to be considered kind of a post-production process, and now there are people who are in the game development team who are the audio leads. I mean, this is monumental from 3 years ago. And I think that it has everything to do with dialogue and needing to be able to incorporate it, having people rehearse the scripts in advance, doing table readings and things like that to make sure that the story works, checking out the dialogue. And what that does is it actually helps them to develop the story in a more cohesive way. So everybody benefits. You get a story that pays off well in the end, the arc is good, and then the dialogue is genuine for the game, authentic for the game that you're playing, and completely compelling.